Greetings, people. So it's the 45th day of the Omer, the Midah of Tiferet Sheva Malchut. So Malchut, let's think about this two ways. One way is kind of like the practical stuff we can all relate to. The second way is like, what are the tzaddikim thinking about? We'll do first the more kind of grounded, practical way, which is Malchut is recognizing that God's in charge, and Tiferet Sheva Malchut is empowering our capacity to recognize God's dominion. We can also think about Malchut as the way we are having dominion or having influence over the people who are in our sphere of influence, whether that's our family or our coworkers, the people who work for us, or, the people who we're supporting through our commerce, or just walking down the street and that person you see who you share joy and pleasantness with, who like every day gets a jolt of connection from you and misses you when you're not there. There's an aspect of influence and malchut and nobility in sharing your higher qualities with others, regardless of who they are, if they're receiving influence from you. And Tiferet is this aspect of the right side, the left side together. The polarities coming together is Tiferet. Tiferet is that new reality that comes together when two polarities mix. The archetype obviously is Chesed and Gevura, Chesed being an expression of love or light or self, Gevura being the boundary that constrains and assures appropriateness and precision of expression. And when that happens, something new happens, and that's Tiferet, and it gets named things like compassion and beauty and balance and harmony. And so we can recognize those beautiful, amazing qualities in the world, like beauty and balance and harmony. We can recognize the beauty of a sunset and realize, the source of life is shining on me. And on from there, you can think of examples that are relevant to you of when you experience and witness the balance of things that brings you to a recognition that there's a source of life that is supporting you and enlivening you, and you're here to serve and express that goodness in the world. And that's an aspect of Tiferet Sheva Malchut. And likewise, extending to the people to whom you extend influence. When you recognize the beauty and the balance, when you find the balance in your own self of, say, someone who is a child to you or a worker for you, and you have a sense of appreciation and love and generosity towards them, but you have an aspect of discipline and boundary, knowing that you want them to behave in a certain way or do certain things or grow in a certain way. And so when you bring those qualities together of love and discipline, and you influence the other person with that exquisite balance, that's Tiferet Sheva Malchut. So now let's get deep and a little bit crazy, okay? Not really crazy, but how do the tzaddikim think? Like, what do I know? I'm not a tzaddik, I'm a regular person. But what I see in the Sfarim is this notion that one aspect of Malchut and being Makabal Malchut, old Malchut Shemayim, the yoke of heaven. On a simple level, people say, well, just do the Torah and mitzvahs and like obey God's will. And that's beautiful, it's a wonderful thing. But there's a deeper level to it, which is that there's four worlds. There's our physical, concrete world. There's our emotional world there of creation and formation. There's a world of concept, consciousness, intellect, not, neurotic intellect, but higher intellect. And then there's a spiritual world, which is beyond our comprehension, which most of us never touch, or maybe none of us ever touch because it's completely removed from this world, the world of Atzilut, where Hashem is emanating reality through the Esher Sefirat, and then those trickle down into this world. But each world is light compared to the world below it. It's light and dark. It's form and matter. Form and matter, form and matter. So Atzilut shines into the world of Bria, which is consciousness. Bria, which is consciousness, shines in the world of emotion. And emotion shines into the physical world. And so it's potentially very deep meditation, and it's a deep part of transformation. And this is part of what we do in elevation. It's part of what I teach in soul powered healing. If I come to a place of presence in my physical reality, and let's say I'm experiencing some kind of discomfort, lack of motivation, I'm just like numb or dull, my body doesn't feel good, but I sit in that place and I bring my awareness into a higher reality. I direct it towards Hashem. And I choose to notice my emotional reality. I choose to stimulate an emotion that actually brings me joy or calm or comfort through whatever practice I do. And then I've got that pleasant emotion trickling into my physical reality through my active choice because I want to serve God. And so I bring that world of emotion to be mamlich, to be kind of melech on my world of physicality. And I get a burst of energy and I get up and do that thing I've been trying to do, or I go to the gym or whatever it is. So I'm in that interface. Malchut is the interface of the higher world and the lower world. Malchut is the quality that transmits the perfect portion of that higher world's expression and light into the world that's below it. So when I access emotion and bring it down into my physical reality in a positive, intentional way, and enliven my physical body to serve, then I'm being mamlik that world of emotion on the world of physicality. Likewise, let's say I'm in a really difficult emotional space, hard stuff happened, I'm feeling some grief or some sadness, but a little part of my mind knows that there's a world of truth, that there's a world of clarity, knows that things go up and down and it's okay. I have what we might call emunah, poorly translated as faith, but I can direct my attention into that space and I can access some of that knowing. And that knowing can quiet and calm my emotional distress. Another way to do this is like the whole thank you thing of generating gratitude for Hashem. And so I'm in a place of pain, but I know that there's a truth that's higher. So I say, thank you for this pain. Sounds crazy, but it's the fake it till you make it thing. It's the emunah thing of reaching up with intention, reaching that higher world where there's a higher truth, and letting that percolate and inform and master and kind of have dominion over my emotional world, and I lift myself out of the emotions. Likewise, I can be in my intellectual, mental space, and I can still have confusion. I can have a hard time figuring out some sort of problem in my life, and I have an intellectual frustration about that. At a certain point, I can just say, Hashem, you're the source. What do I know? And I can just like drop it. I say, Hashem, think for me. And I can drop my thoughts. I can let myself just go to a place of bitul, of just nullify myself. And then whoosh, something higher comes in. So it's like 3 examples of the higher world, reaching into the higher world, bringing its stuff into the lower world, which is transparent to its stuff, and subsequently all those different level worlds, and learning how to navigate that inner landscape, the inner operating system, as I like to call it, by wisely mobilizing emotion, wisely mobilizing higher intellect, and wisely accessing a place of just, what am I? Knowing that Ein Od Milvado, that Hashem, which is the source of love and all life, is also Elohim, the power that activates reality in a positive way according to the needs and the desires of that higher source. So Hashem hu Elohim ein od milvado, to recognize that the source is the power and there's nothing else. And that's the place of bittul, and that's the place of devekut. We should all be blessed to access that place of just divine light and let it percolate through us and bring us mental clarity, emotional joy and positivity, and an alive physical being that's healed and aligned with those higher levels of reality. Thanks for watching. Please share these with your friends. Give them the Substack link, invite them. You can invite people in the Substack. Just add them if you want. Okay, thanks for being here. And I hope to be back before Shavuot, which is coming upon us pretty quickly. Take care.